Life doesn't warn you before it snaps you in half. It doesn't knock, it doesn't ask if you're ready, it just hits. Most people shatter when it does. They crumble, cry, run, and beg for comfort. But if you intend to become powerful, if you intend to rise without asking permission, you will not. Niccolo Machiavelli didn't speak to the comfortable, he spoke to the broken, the betrayed, the discarded, because that's when the real game begins. When life breaks you, it watches what you do next. If you want to know who you really are, let everything fall apart. Let the money go. Let people turn their backs. Let the future blur. You will meet your true self in that storm. If your mind is weak, you'll rot in self-pity. If your mind is cold, alert, and disciplined, you'll evolve. Pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It separates the fragile from the forged, and if you let it, it will build you a mind that will not bend again. The world does not care how you feel. It only responds to what you become. So when they leave you in the dark, don't scream. Sit in silence. Analyze. Watch your thoughts. Dissect your emotions. Find where your weakness lives, then starve it. Don't reach outward. Reach inward. Build a mind that does not collapse under pressure, and you will become someone no one can control again. You are not here to be liked or to stay soft. You are here to become dangerous to anything that ever tried to break you. If you feel the switch flipping inside you, lock in the sentence, "Pain sharpens my power." Weak minds seek comfort. Strong minds seek control. When most people are hurt, they run to distraction and temporary highs, noise, crowds, vices, anything to avoid what's happening inside. Comfort kills growth, and that is exactly what a complacent world wants from you. If you want to be untouchable, rewire how your brain responds to pain. Control is the highest form of power, and it begins with your own reactions. You were trained to numb yourself, scroll, snack, blame, so you never face the real war within. Meanwhile, the one who rules his mind rules his world. While others chase pleasure, you train focus. While they seek reassurance, you sit with discomfort. While they panic, you plan. That is not heartlessness. That is dominance over the only field that matters, your psychology. People will call you cold when you stop reacting. Let them. They say that only because they can no longer manipulate you. Your silence will scare them. Your indifference will offend them. But you don't need their understanding. You need your mind to obey your will. If you're ready to train beyond emotion and beyond the need for comfort, engrave this. My control is my revenge. You were never weak because life hurt you. You became weak when you let emotion hijack judgment. Hand your power to feeling and you become prey. Pain is inevitable. Interpretation is a choice. In the psychology of power, the one who controls meaning controls everything. Life may break your body. If it breaks your mind, you were never ready. Unlearn the lie that reactive emotion is authenticity. It is predictability. The world studies your triggers. If your reactions are automatic, you are owned. They know which words to use, which buttons to push, which silences to deploy. Every time you respond the same way, you prove you are still not free. The antidote is not numbness, it is discipline. Feel the heat and hold position. Cry if you must, but behind a locked door. Speak less, and make every word land like a blade. Do not argue with those who have decided not to hear. Your focus is sacred. Access must be earned. Machiavelli wrote that it is safer to be feared than loved. In psychological warfare, love can soften your edge with illusions, while fear keeps people cautious. You are not just building strength, you are building sharpness, control that doesn't need to yell to be felt. When the fire comes again, stare it down. You have been broken before, now you break through. Burn this into your mind. I feel nothing. I move with precision. You are not here to react. You are here to rise. Most people stay broken because they accept the story life hands them. They wear suffering like a badge and call it identity. Machiavellian power is not earned through pity. It is taken through mental warfare. Rewrite your story. Tear down every narrative that calls you victim. Every script that says you were wronged and therefore owed. Life owes you nothing, and it will hand you power if you are ruthless enough to take it. Your trauma is not your personality. Your pain is not your name. Stop calling it your truth. It was a phase, a hit, a test. Now destroy it. You are not here to tell the world what happened to you. You are here to show the world who you became because of it. People will try to speak to your past self. Make sure that version no longer exists. That is how you control the narrative, by killing off the part that stayed broken. Perception is stronger than reality. Let your walk carry silence like a weapon. When they doubt you, don't explain, exceed. When life hits again, you won't crumble. You will calculate, adapt, and use it. A man trained by pain becomes fluent in strategy. There will be nights your mind feels like an enemy. In that moment, you have one choice: collapse or construct. The mind respects discipline, not motivation. Feed it truth. Train it to hold the line under pressure. Etch this: I killed the old me. I walk as the weapon. Attachment is the most silent killer of inner power. At first it feels warm, love, loyalty, hope. But underneath, it clings and corrodes. You wait, chase, compromise, and bend your standards to keep what was never meant to stay. That's the first fracture in your armor, caring too much about what does not care about you. Power is not built by clinging, it is built by watching, calculating, and detaching at the correct moment. Never attach your peace to anything external, not a person, not an outcome, not even your idea of yourself. The moment something else decides how you feel, it controls you. And a controlled man is a weak man. Become emotionally independent. Master the skill of arriving calm while chaos swirls. Your silence will unsettle, your absence will echo, your detachment will dominate. Every time you detach, you reclaim power. Every time you stop explaining, you sharpen focus. Every time you do not react, you earn respect. And every time you walk away, you remind the world you were never meant to be owned. Being unbothered is not coldness, it is control. Those who benefited from your softness will say you changed. They are right. You stopped bleeding for people who never noticed your wounds and started choosing power over approval. You don't need closure or applause. You need clarity and distance to execute in silence. Act without being seen, feel without being enslaved, cut when necessary without hesitation. Drop what weakens, release what drains, silence what distracts. You are not here to please. You are here to position. Build the fortress no one has the key to, and the world will lose its grip on you. If something in you just snapped into place, lock this. Attachment is weakness. I choose control. They tell you being alone is dangerous, that isolation signals failure. That is the lie of those who can't stand silence. Weak minds need noise to drown their inner war. You are different now. You choose solitude, not as punishment, but as training. In the quiet, your thoughts get loud, every fear, every regret. It is not an attack, it is an audit. Machiavelli thrived in the dark, observing, plotting, sharpening his mind while others performed in the light. Isolation strips illusion. You see plainly who you are, what broke you, and what must burn. Most run from this: music, chatter, endless scrolling. You will sit in the silence and dominate it. You will hear the old beliefs beg to survive, and you will end them, one by one. This is not pretty, it is real transformation. You stop thinking like a servant and start thinking like a strategist. You detach from noise and attach to clarity. You rewire how you wake, walk, and speak. You stop chasing dopamine and start chasing discipline. You stop asking why and ask how you can use it. Old habits will knock. You do not answer. You build alone, study alone, evolve alone. When you return, you will need nothing. The world does not reward public healing. It rewards self-control. Silence is your gym. Loneliness is your weapon. You no longer need to be seen to be steady. Go inward, go dark. Let your silence cook your next move. When you reappear, you won't explain or announce. You will execute. Pain is the greatest intelligence test. It breaks routine, bends ego, and slices illusions. The weak beg for comfort. Rulers go quiet. They stop feeling and start calculating. Pain is data. It shows where you're exposed, who you depended on, which habits scattered your energy. Treat it like a scalpel. Dissect it. Ask, what made this possible? What did I miss? Where is the blind spot? Most people play checkers with their pain. Fast, loud, desperate. You play chess. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, where does this position me long term? Each stab becomes a blueprint. Then power multiplies. You begin to predict pain. You see patterns before they repeat. You read people before they speak. That is not trauma. That is tactical memory. Strategy isn't just how you move others. It is how you run yourself. You wake with a protocol. You choose your state before the world chooses it for you. Calm, cold, assertive, silent. You filter everything: conversations, relationships, habits. You do not speak for validation. You speak with intention. Tested, you do not bark. You observe. You do not argue. You document. You do not react. You reposition. That is the man life fears. From now on, don't pray for less pain. Extract more value. You don't rise by being loud. You rise by moving without being moved. Hold this line: I no longer react. I reposition. The world rarely destroys you with force. It destroys you with emotional bait, expectations, pressure, guilt. Be nice when you should be silent. Forgive when you should walk. Explain when you should disappear. Each compliance costs you a piece of yourself. Emotional immunity is the cure. Not numbness, immunity. Numbness avoids. Immunity absorbs and remains unaffected. You see and hear, but let nothing untrue reach your core. Audit your energy relentlessly. Does this strengthen me or scatter me? At the first sign of shrinking, cut quietly. This isn't revenge, it's preservation. You are not here to win clarity from those who profit from your confusion. Your self-respect is not up for negotiation. The new you does not ask twice, does not chase, does not beg. You walk away so cleanly people question whether they ever had access to you at all. Your absence becomes a statement. Build a standard so high that inconsistency and disrespect self-destruct before reaching you. Let them call you distant. They are right. You have evolved. That coldness is peace. That silence is protection. You no longer seek to be understood. You seek to be undisturbed. Ask Jung's question through Machiavelli's lens. Who stands around your mind? Who still has your emotional password? Clean house. Nothing is stronger than the person who guards their inner state with distance, discipline, and detachment. You don't scream for respect. You live so cleanly that disrespect cannot enter. My peace is locked. No one gets in. Weaponize your presence. Command without a word. Powerful people don't explain. They calibrate. They know perception shapes reality, and the less they say, the more control they hold. Carry an energy that forces attention without asking for it. Become unreadable, calm, and contained. Your silence becomes a mirror. Others project, and you reveal nothing. Rooms tighten when you arrive, not by magic, but by mastery built in solitude and discipline. Weak men overexpress and overexplain. Strong ones sit still in storms. You're done seeking to be liked. You intend to be felt. If they don't respect your presence, they will feel your absence. If they talk over you, you go quiet. If they challenge you, you act, not argue. This is psychological warfare, precise, invisible, lethal. To hold this power, you must kill the urge to prove yourself, bury the impulse to defend your name, and train your face to remain still when provoked. Power is giving them nothing. No reaction, no access, no emotion. Only a calm, cold calculation that says, I saw it, I measured it, and it wasn't worth a breath. My presence is my power. My silence is my strike. You felt betrayal. You endured silence. You sat alone with thoughts that nearly devoured you. And you are still here, stronger, quieter, colder. Not because life eased up, but because you learned the world rewards the mind that refuses to die. You are no longer a survivor or a victim. You are a weapon, tested 1,000 times in private, recalibrated each time, unbreakable now, Power does not live in half measures. It does not belong to the emotional or the hopeful. It bows to those who train their minds like a blade, cold, sharp, ready. You do not miss the comfort you burned. You saw what softness bought, being overlooked, used, forgotten. You saw what over-explaining did. It taught people to ignore you. You saw what reactive emotion earned, weakness. You outgrew it. The unbreakable mind is not born by accident. It is built by design and ritual. Each morning you choose to stay sharp. Every decision is a move. You stop chasing outcomes and build leverage. You stop giving access and raise the price. You stop proving worth and start embodying it. When life hits now, you pause, adjust, and assert control. The game is no longer emotional. It is strategic. You speak less and are heard more. You don't try to fit rooms. You own space. You wear silence like armor. The moment people realize they cannot move your mind, they adjust. Respect replaces tests. Attention replaces noise. You are feared, not because you fight, but because you no longer bleed for the world. This mind cannot be seduced by attention, shaken by betrayal, or lured by old patterns. It sees manipulation and remains calm, thinks 5 moves ahead, trusts slowly, and fears almost nothing. You watch, wait, and strike only when necessary. You did not get here by luck. You built it in the dark, step by step. Now you lead, not with volume, but with depth. You don't invest in chaos. You let absence speak. You don't flex. Your energy reorders rooms. This is not detachment for defense. This is clarity for dominance. You are not rebuilding. You are reprogramming. The person you are becoming does not apologize for calculation, does not explain coldness, does not shrink for comfort, and does not seek permission, only position. That is the mindset no loss, no betrayal, no chaos can kill. If this carved a new reality into you, seal it. I am untouchable now. I own my mind.